Hi. We're interviewing people from Norman Park Senior Center who are senior citizenships, and we are Real Experience. My name is Caesar.
My name is Osmar.
My name is Angel.
My name is Roel.
And what's your name?
Roseanne.
Roselle?
Roseanne.
Roseanne.
Rose, like the flower rose.
Roseanne. Okay, thank you, Roseanne. And we're gonna ask you 10 questions, if that's fine with you.
It's fine.
Okay.
So, the first question would be like, what was the most memorable events or situations in your past? Yeah, like your favorite situations or memories.
My favorite memories is always Christmas.
Christmas? Is there a reason why?
My dad was home. My dad was in the Navy, so he was always home at Christmas time. And the family always got together, so it was always a big group.
Your dad was in the Navy?
Yes.
Did he like fought any wars or anything? Like battles?
Yeah, World War II, Korea. So he retired in 61.
In one sentence, can you like describe your most important events or like situations about your life?
My wedding was one of them. When my kids were born. Graduation. Mm-hmm. My first plane flight.
Like, was it like the first plane flight? What was it like? Like nervous or like?
I'd never seen or had never been on a commercial plane. I'd seen the jets and stuff from the Navy, but it was a long trip. It was an 8-hour flight from Hawaii back to the mainland. And it was something different, something new.
So, what are some like tips of wisdom or like what do you give advice about for people in the world?
People in the world,
Tips of wisdom.
tips of wisdom, be kind to each other. Don't do unto others as you would have them do unto you. In other words, be kind, be nice. Listen to people when they talk. If they're asking you a question, if you don't know the answer, don't fake it. Just tell them you don't know, and if you do know who might have it, give them that information. But that's the best information I could give you. Yeah, just be kind.
All right. So, what is your opinion about the new or future generations? Like,
The new generations and the ones coming up are going to have a hard time. They're all too plugged in. If you tell kids to go out and play, they just look at you. And stuff, every time you turn around, people walking, whatever, they're like this with their nose in a phone. They don't know, most of them, I've found, most of the kids growing up now don't know how to cook. Unless you can zap it in a microwave. Or it's in a box.
so you want the future generation to learn these new skills?
Go back to the old skills from the 50s. They need to bring things back into school that they had back then. They need to have the home ec classes, the wood shop classes, the auto classes, driver's ed, different they would consider it lifestyle classes and stuff now.
What advice would you give your like past self so you can do better this?
My past self. Finish college. Finish college. Yeah, finish college because job-wise.
If you don't mind me asking, what was your job?
What was my, honey, I have had 1,000,001 jobs. Which ones would you like me to start with? I started working at 13.
On your first job.
My first job, I was a babysitter and a house cleaner.
13.
At 13. Then I went to work at a grocery store, what we called the old-fashioned country store. Then I worked in Alameda in a gas station. Then I worked at dry cleaners. I worked at what they call the chicken ranch, where we get the chickens as their new hatches, and we raise them and ship them out for breeders and fryers and stuff. I worked there, and I went back to work at the store. Then I got married, moved to town. Was working as a house cleaner and a babysitter again. And then when my youngest son was 4.5, 5, started school, I started working as a paid employee for the city. I had been working as a volunteer for 3 years by then.
Is there a reason why you didn't finish college?
Couldn't afford it, for one. Yeah, I went for about a year.
So talking about what problems with this generation, what advice would you give to future generations?
For future generations, listen to your grandparents. Ask them questions. If you don't understand something or understand why Grandpa's doing something that way, ask him. Grandpa, how come you do it that way? How come you don't do this, this, and this? Because a lot of them are like me. I'm not computer smart. I hunt and peck on a computer. But get me a pencil and paper or a typewriter, I'm fine. We don't know how to look up stuff on a computer like you do. You want to look up a word or what the meaning is, you go tap, tap, and you're done. We look for the hardback books, the encyclopedias and stuff.
Is there like a reason why to go back and like?
What's going to happen if something happens? How are you guys going to cope if something happens and all of a sudden the computers don't work? You can't get a signal, you can't get, or you're someplace, you're traveling and you break down someplace in a town where they don't have access to internet. They're in a valley, they're in a dead spot, and everything is done by hand. You'll be lost. To dial a phone, do you know how to dial a regular phone? I'm not talking a push button, I'm talking about a rotary dial. Do you know how to use a rotary dial? Do you know how to use a push button phone?
Yeah, I know.
Good boy. Do you know how to, and you can't type and send something out on that. You'd have to write a letter to get information out. You'd have to go to a library and look things up in a book, because I know you don't carry a library with you or a dictionary. So, yeah. You're looking like you're getting ready to panic here. Don't panic.
So, what your opinion on the new generations to learn new skills, right?
Actually, go back and learn old skills to go with the new skills you're learning, because a lot of times they will meld together and you can use them together, but it's better to go back and learn some of the old skills so you're prepared for anything. Learn how to write script. I'm not talking just printing, I'm talking script. Because a lot of places, if you'll notice, a lot of paper, if you'll notice, it says signature. And they don't want you to print. They want your written signature. A printed signature is not legal.
In the world in general, what would you do to improve it?
To improve it, it would be to get rid of a lot of the pollution. Politically, it's all gone to H in a handbasket. In a handbasket. In other words, it's all gone downhill. They'll promise during campaign, they'll promise one thing, when then they get in, within a year, all those promises have been broken. So it's like, who do you trust? You do the best you can do, and that's it, and you just keep your fingers crossed. But get along with your neighbors around you. For the politicians, get along with your constituents, the people that you're representing, and the ones that are up and higher. Get along with the ones from the different countries, because you may have to depend on them one day, and not just.
So if you had the time, what things would you dedicate yourself right now or in the past? So like not just college, like how you said, but like events in the world, like for example pollution, energy, and stuff like that.
Well, I've done a few things on the pollution part. I've worked on the clean up the beaches stuff, and I used to live in the mountains up here in our mountains, so we always cleaned up there and stuff. But it's the reuse, recycle